Hey, Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Civilization 6. Today we're going to be trying out an extremely broken strategy that works in the current game, but we're also going to be trying out a new mod as well called MacLeod, which you can find a link to in the description of the video, alongside all of the other UI mods that I'm using in this game. I saw a post on the Civ Fanatics forum a good time ago about how to get an incredibly fast science victory with Russia, and I thought that would be super interesting because this is just really breaks the game. Of course, naturally, we all know that Civilization 6 is a perfectly balanced game with no exploits, which is why we're going to be doing this perfectly imbalanced strategy that is basically exploiting all the game mechanics to its fullest while also exploring a new mod. Today we'll be playing as a Peter on deity difficulty with maxed out city-states on an inland sea of standard map size with abundant resources, legendary start position, cold map temperature, and wet rainfall. We're also just playing with the Barbarians Clans mode today. Now this is what I call a good Russian starting location. The really cool thing about MacLeod is it gives most units +1 movement, so you can kind of explore the land a little bit easier. And it also means you can much more easily move your settler one tile and then settle on the very first turn, so you don't miss out on that very first turn if you just need to scooch over a single tile, get a slightly better spot. Now the other really cool thing about MacLeod is if you settle in adverse terrain like tundra, desert, or mountains, you actually get a special adaptation bonus that makes living in that area a little bit easier. So if I come over here, and even though I'm settling in plains, there's enough tundra in range of my capital to where I'll get the tundra adaptation ability. Pop down the city, and now you can see over here, St. Petersburg was founded in adverse terrain. As a result, your people have adapted to life within it, and we're now able to build farms on tundra. This is a really cool mod option. Honestly, this could fit in the base game. Now, if you're not playing Russia, it also gives your farms on tundra +1 production and faith, but because we're Russia, we get that on every tile anyway, so Russia doesn't get that doubled. Anyway, the basic goal here is to try to abuse tundra with holy sites to get a ridiculous amount of sites. We've done a little bit of planning here in our capital. We have our Lavra planned, and that's going to be a really high adjacency, and I'd also like to pick up a couple of religious wonders, most notably the Mahabodhi Temple and the Kotoku Inn for the 20% extra sites. If I could get the Basilica, I will be very happy. If I can't get it, I don't mind. I'm also gonna maybe look into getting Kilwa Kisawani, depending on how many scientific city-states that I find. If I find at least 2, 100% I'm going for it. That's partially why I turned on the Barbarian game mode, so that I could get more barbarian encampments appear, and so I could get more city-states appearing by making them grow up, right? Things are starting to look pretty interesting. I have this scout here hoping to block off Georgia from trying to come through here. I did see a settler at one point kind of rock up here, so I'm blocking this pass with my scout. Working on clearing out this barb camp as well. This appeared like a few turns ago and I was like, ugh. And I got myself another warrior by purchasing it from here anyway, so that was helpful. We've also met Georgia, and Georgia is it's an okay civ to be up against here. She probably won't try to settle the tundra because she much prefers non-tundra land, and I don't think her capital got the tundra adaptation bonus, so she's more likely to avoid it. But I've got a huge amount of scouts, and they have like great scouting range. I pretty much know everything over here, and there is so much room. This is starting to look like this is gonna be the run. I did do a test run to see if I could make it work, but this is looking like it's the run. Most notably because I have a +6 I have a +6 Lavra here that's cranking out basically all of my faith right now. And if I can go ahead and grab myself a religion, I'll be able to get that work ethic buff here and just have ridiculously powerful cities. Just met the Zulu over here, and things are starting to come together because we absolutely need to get a golden age in the classical era. So we just need 2 more era score, and I think founding a religion will absolutely do that for us. This is going to be a very nice run. I think clearing this barb camp now will give me that last era score I need to guarantee a golden age. Oh, here's the tribal village to do it. Yoink, +1 population. I should have promoted this guy. That was a mistake. But yeah, being able to move and promote is no longer just a Grand Columbia thing. It's really cool. Step up onto the hill with our settler, pop down the city. She's a little bit upset about it. She could be upset for all I care. And I'm going to walk a builder over here, chop this, and then immediately get the Lavra. I'm also a really big fan of the new scout promotions, +1 sight range or 8 combat strength when defending against barbs. This is super helpful at staying alive early game if you go scout heavy. And this is also amazing if you want to just reveal more of the map, because scouts now innately just ignore the movement penalties for woods, rainforest and hills, which I really like. Everything feels a lot more mobile in this mod. Cancel the monument, step the builder up, take the lava from being an 8-turn building, chop, boom, and now it's only a 2-turn building, and we'll nearly increase our faith per turn by 50% by building that. Time to build our first farm on the tundra. Click, and now it's a 2 food, 1 production, 1 faith tile, which is absolutely workable, especially if we want this city to grow, although we're going to want some more housing first, so I will buy another tile, and then I can justify working high food tiles. Oh, there's our great prophet. Confucius says it's time to found a religion. I think the Coggers is an appropriate name for this religion, because we are going to be going for work ethic to get as many cogs as possible. I'm also going to grab myself religious colonization, because I cannot afford the faith to spread my religion with missionaries. There we have, boys and girls. Now we have the religion of Coggers. Settled 3rd city. Immediately begin building a +6 lavra. And now just look at the production in this city. It's 15 production, and it's this early into the game in a tundra city. Make your dedication for the classical era. I feel like Exodus of the Evangelists is pretty good, but you know we're taking monumentality. Oh, 200 faith for a settler. Don't mind if I do. I love just how tough scouts are with the 8 combat strength promotion. Like, they just get absolutely obliterated in the base game, but once you have this promotion, barbarians can't do anything to them. Do you know what? We don't actually need this aqueduct. I'm going to try and get the Temple of Artemis here. I have enough chops to make it happen. I think maybe if I can get Magnus in here and I chop this and this, yeah, we could get the Temple of Artemis. That would be very nice, especially because we have potentially 4 or 5 camps over here. Boom, we just got early empire. And that means you have to make a decision about our very first governor. Now, governors in EPSMod are quite different. Pingala, for example, gives you 0.4 science and culture for each citizen, and then a production boost towards theater squares or campuses, and then the usual stuff down the bottom. Magnus is kind of similar. He gives you the old yield boost, but then things start to diverge a bit. If I want the settler production thing, I have to go all the way down to colonialist. I feel like Moksha is going to be very important for me this game, especially being able to purchase districts with faith. So I reckon I'll be making him a priority. But I do feel like getting Pingala first for that extra science and culture is absolutely worth it. Although, actually, now that I think about it, the 50% yields from Magnus chopping, yeah, it's just gotta be Magnus, because we have plenty of things that we can afford to chop in the capital. Boom, improve the camp, immediately get craftsmanship, and then we can get to work on state workforce. Now I need to get my capital up to 4 population, so that's gonna definitely involve harvesting these 2 wheat. But to begin with, I can actually improve this quarry in order to pick up the masonry boost. Because our science isn't gonna be amazing early game, we have to pick up as much boosts as we possibly can. Faith purchase a settler in Smolensk. It looks like one of my scouts found some some barbs. Let's just casually get out of there. Let's harvest this first wheat to boost the city up to 3 population, and then we'll run over and get this one. 4th city settled, and we immediately begin building a lavra. Now I think this is going to be my last settler until I get my government plaza up. I have enough chops in my capital to chop out everything I need there. Boom, we have writing now, so we can start placing our campuses in newly settled cities. And we also got ourselves a government plaza. I don't know if I'm going to immediately start placing campuses down, because it might be worth it to get even more faith this era and just continuously buy, you know, settlers until we just like run out of faith. Let's appoint Liang so we can start mass producing builders throughout our empire. We'll harvest again in here, and that will instantly hit us with 4 population and let us place down the government plaza. Then I'll go ahead and faith purchase the builder in here just so that we can chop this out. Got ourselves our first great writer, and one cool thing I like about this mod is that it adds to Russian holy sites with a shrine 1 spot for great works of writing, which is a very cool mechanic. Time for our 5th city, and this will be the last city we settle before we get the ancestral hall. Now is the time to appoint Pingala, and we'll throw Pingala down in Smolensk. Oh, that's unfortunate. The Temple of Artemis was not completed by us. Not the end of the world, because we can translate this extra production into something else, like a shrine. And now that we have political philosophy, We'll go ahead and adopt Classical Republic, slot in the Settler production card and the Builder production card for now, and Charismatic Leader. Chop out the shrine, immediately begin work on the Ancestral Hall, and then on the next turn, boom, we chop this out and it's practically done already. Oh, I think Coupe's having a really bad time. I think he started on the center of the lake and then settled in literally the worst place on the entire map. In fact, I think this is his entire empire here flipping independent. You had like 3 other viable places you could have settled, Coupe. What are you doing? Put a mine on the iron for the double boost, one of wheel and one of ironworking. And with the completion of Ancestral Hall, purchasing settlers in here no longer takes population, and we can continuously settle the frontier. Now that we have Magnus Liang and Pangala, I think it's time we start work on Moksha, who's going to be able to purchase our spaceports later on in the game. Let's go ahead and levy Cahokia's military to deal with this barbarian infestation here. Plus, it gets me a little bit of era score, and if I can double Golden Age, I think I just automatically win the game. Ah, yep, here comes the Georgian settler. Thankfully, I've got my scout on blockade duty. God, is there anything more satisfying in Civ than faith buying settlers? I really don't think there is. I think it's like the thing that just feels good to do. Culture is actually surprisingly more important than science for me right now. That's why I'm rushing a monument in every single city that I've settled right after the Lavra. Pop down another city for free, kaboom. Immediately get ourselves a builder. Let's plug in Diplomatic League so we can start spreading out our envoys a little bit here. I just picked up Mogadishu and Cardiff here so I can get suzerainty of them and get maybe a little bit of era score. Oh, Coupe has been defeated. His city flipped independent. Maybe we'll liberate that later on in the game as a meme. And the great thing about getting free builders is you can basically immediately chop out your Lavra and have a city cranking out production. And you don't even need the mod to do this strategy. In fact, the mod actually makes this strategy worse, but I've just been having so much fun playing the mod that I was like, screw it, I'll do the mod. I'll use the mod in this video. We could plug in scripture now for 9 faith, and I think I'm actually going to plug out Settler card here in a sec and then begin work on the Mahabodhi Temple. First person to be suzerain of Cardiff, +2 era score, baby. God, if I can, that double of Golden Age, I can smell it. I can smell it. Whoa, an empty barb camp? What happened here? Don't I have the Barbarian mode enabled? How is this possible? Barbarian's Clans mode is active, but this has nothing on it. That's so weird. You put your Lavra here, you chop it out, chop, chop, Lavra in, Lavra out, shake it all about. Listen. Listen, don't criticize my singing. And that's what it's all about. Oh, the Russian science. Oh, the Russian science. Am I going to clear this? No. It's still a clan, but it's not a clan. That is so weird. I have to disperse it still. I have never seen that before. Is that a bug? I don't even know what to tell you about that one. Yeah, the only option I have is to disperse the clan. I guess our clan's just gone off the map. Is that what's happened? No more clans are allowed? There's a clan over here. Oh, maybe the map had the maximum amount of clans allowed on the map. Ooh, that could have been it. Build a pasture for the tech boost. Very nice, we're getting to place our very first campus. Let the science begin. Let's plug in scripture for the extra faith and core V to build our wonders faster. We've got our first campus, baby. Let's get that library. And you know what? We're even going to chop out that library so we can get it a couple turns sooner and get back to building builders. Just a continuous train of settlers flowing out of my capital to the Great Wastes. Temple finished in the capital. Slap down that Mahabodhi Temple. We want this because it gives us 2 free apostles, which is basically 800 faith that we don't have to spend on apostles, then we can just continuously produce builders, or rather settlers. Astrakhan's going to be our main space chop city, so I won't be using all the forests in here. Classical era ends in 10 turns. We've got 10 turns to achieve what we need to in this era, and it's going to be tough. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a tough challenge to get everything we need done. But we will get the Mahabodhi Temple, we will evangelize our religion. Another harvest, 4 turns until that. 1 more chop will get us the Mahabodhi and a ton of era score. Time to chop out Mahabodhi, and there it is in all its glory, giving us not only diplomatic victory points and 2 free apostles, a nice boost towards buttresses, an extra 4 era score, and the ability to double evangelize our religion. I'm actually not sure if I should go for cross-cultural dialogue and Gurdwaras for higher population, or Jesuit education and pagodas to be able to use my faith to purchase my science buildings and then sell my Diplo favor for gold. That's actually a really, really tough choice. Both approaches seem valid to me. The thing I like about this is that it allows me to convert my population into science. The thing I like about Jesuit education is it allows me to convert my faith into science, which is something that you can't really do. Oh God, I'm actually not sure which one is better. Cross-cultural dialogue is so much science, but this would mean I would have less shopping. I would need to do less shopping with Jesuit education. I tell you what I'll do. I'm going to make a religion fork save, and we'll go with Jesuit education and then pagodas for the extra diplo favor. Although, man, stupas could be so nice for the extra amenities too. It would mean more science. No. Right, we're committed. Jesuit education and pagodas. Ridiculous sign. Now I need to prepare my capital to build a Kilwa Kisawani. If you don't know, the Kilwa Kisawani is a wonder that gives you 3 envoys when built. When you're the suzerain of a city-state, this city receives a 15% boost to the type bonuses provided by that city-state. That means if I'm suzerain of a scientific city-state, I'll get a 15% science boost in this city. If you're suzerain of 2 or more city-states of that type, an additional 15% boost is given to all your cities. So if I'm suzerain of 2 scientific city-states, every single one of my cities is going to get a 15% boost to its science yield, which basically completely eliminates any penalties from negative amenities. It's an insane wonder, and we're pretty much going to beeline it now. I'm just waiting on that last archer to build and these ancient walls to build. Boom. Settle another city. The city of Nizhny Novgorod? No. This is the city of Horsopolis. Let's use our meager gold income now to go ahead and purchase a galley for +2 era score. And then I can go ahead and purchase myself an apostle and do an inquisition, and we should guarantee another golden age. No one ever expects the Russian Inquisition, +2 era score, and boom, we have now secured ourselves a medieval golden age. Boom, there's feudalism. Plug in the builder charge card. I think I'll plug that in over core V because we no longer need it. Now look at these tundra farms with feudalism. 3 food, 1 production, 1 faith. These are very workable tiles. It's honestly my favorite part of this mod. The fact that you adapt to particular terrain is just so cool. Let's hire a horseman from this barb camp to get them to evolve into a city-state a little bit quicker. Medieval dedication. I think we take monumentality again because we can still extend our empire a little bit out here, but we're going to start focusing on purchasing builders and shopping out our campuses here. Very nice. We have natural philosophy now, and while I am not a big fan of losing 11 production, I do like picking up 2 science. Moksha is getting promoted with Divine Architect, and now my build is online. I can come in here and immediately faith purchase a campus for 320 faith for a campus. That is an absurdly cheap campus. I'm making 180 faith per turn. I pop down the campus and then I can purchase a library for 180 faith. All I have to do now is find which of my cities is going to hit 4 population next, and it's probably Tver. Reassign Moksha over to Tver and make sure I get a builder in solid camps to get this city growing a little bit quicker too. Faith purchase the library. An extra 4 science per turn for 180 faith. The literal god setup I have right now. This is why farm triangles are so good, dude. For 3 citizens, I'm getting enough food if you include the city center to support 5.5 population. And all of these tiles have 1 food on them. So this city can easily grow to 8 or 9, maybe 10 pop without any more food, just this 1 farm triangle. I really wish they would add this mechanic to the game. Don't even give me the production, don't even give me the faith, just the farms. Being able to build farms on Tundra as every civ, oh my god, would it be a game changer. Boom. Kilwa Kisawani. Kilwa Siwania? I don't know how to pronounce this wonder's name. Listen, give me the wonder. We'll start building it. We're growing in 4 turns and unlocking apprenticeship in 4 turns, so we'll re-gear the city towards production then. But for now, we're just going to hold on to it and start plotting to take the suzerainty of these city-states. Faith purchase another library for +5 science. Chop in here, boom, that shaved 5 turns off this. Now that we've got apprenticeship finished, this city should be able to grow. Set it to production focus. And now Kilwa will be finished in only 20 turns. What's that, you say? Moksha is established in Tver, but why don't I go ahead and just buy myself a campus for 320 faith and immediately buy myself a library, boosting my science by 6 per turn. I can do this every 5 turns. I can just create a campus out of thin air. The next city on my list is Solikamsk. Georgia is friendly, but is refusing my friendship, which means she's gonna declare war at me at some point. You ever wanna know how I know the AI is gonna declare war on me? It's when I got that little green smiley face and they won't actually declare friendship. It's like what I like to call false friends. Yep, I predicted it perfectly. I knew it. God damn it, Georgia. Can I not just have a peaceful game where I break, you know, the entire victory conditions? Can you not just leave me in peace? Boom. Essentially a free campus. Boom. Essentially a free library. And we're currently making 62.5 science per turn. Not bad. Got ourselves a great scientist, and now we have university tech. Don't mind if I pop in here, just grab myself +4 science for 500 faith. Granted, I don't think faith purchasing universities right now is cost effective, but it is something we can consider. This is the one downside of playing Russia, is you just end up with a big load of random great people standing around inside your empire. I'm not really sure how you circumnavigate a world when it's basically just a giant world surrounding a lake, but I'll take it. This is a really cool unit added by EPSmod. It's a Templar Knight. Has 45 melee combat strength, so it's kind of like a regular knight, but it gets +5 combat strength when it's stacked with a religious unit. This gives religious-based plays some kind of militaristic advantage in the mid-game. They still cost iron and you can only buy them with faith, but damn is it a great way to convert your faith into an army. Moksha is going to be a little bit too busy to build every single campus for us, which is why we have Magnus as a backup, so we can chop out a couple of them, just so we're not always waiting for Moksha. Of course, once we chop out the campus, we could just go back to purchasing libraries for faith. Now, we've just built a building called the National College. Limited to 1 per civilization, it requires a library, and it enables the switch to tall science project. It doesn't do much on its own, it just gives you 1 housing and 3 great scientist points per turn. So I'm going to pop Pingala in here to make this my main science city. But if we go ahead and do the switch to tall project, all of the libraries and universities in my empire will yield -1 science and -2 science for universities each, but I get +1 science per population in this city. This is kind of how this mod addresses wide versus tall. It gives you special national college type buildings, like from Civ 5, that lowers how effective it is to build multiples of a building, but gives you a lot more out of a single city. Now, in this case, I've already built a ton of campuses and my empire is pretty wide, so I'm going to skip actually doing the switch to tall science project, but I will be building my national college for that extra housing and 3 great scientist points. Let's go ahead and plug in Theocracy, which is going to give us a 15% discount on buying all of those delicious universities. Now, universities only cost me 425 faith to purchase. That is a very nice deal. We will do a remove heresy here and then attack this guy. Just gotta deal with some heretics. Take Suzerainty of Hattusa. Kaboom. Another 2 era score, and we got ourselves +2 science in every university. Welcome to the city of Sugar Baby, where we have 7 copies of sugar, one of which I settled upon. Kilwa Kisawani, and it is definitely one of the most beautiful wonders in the game because it's going to give us an insane amount of yields across our entire empire. Now we just got to sort out which cities we want to be suzerain of. We've got Hattusa. Let's go ahead and grab Taruga as well. And watch my science jump from 111 all the way up to 142.3. That is a massive boost of science. May as well grab Chinguetti as well for the extra chunk of faith. We're up to 300 faith per turn. Feels good. I've decided to skip St. Basil's Cathedral in my capital. I will go for Kotoku Inn. It's a 20% boost of faith of this city, which is pretty respectable. The great thing is now my settlers are actually cheaper again. I think I'll try to squeeze in maybe 4 or 5 more because there's some really nice choppable forests over here, as well as some niter and strategic resources. I don't think we're going to quite get the mega OP sub 170 win, but I definitely think we're on track for a very fast science win here. Let's grab Galileo Galilei. A free 500 science will easily boost us through towards scientific theory. We'd like to grab the Oxford pretty late into the game so we can get those 2 free techs. I'm trying to pillage Georgia a little bit so they'll maybe consider going to peace with me because they seem to be just refusing straight up. So maybe if I start damaging their cities, they'll reconsider being at war with me. Nothing I offer them will peace them out. Let's start the St. Basil's Cathedral in Arkhangelsk. And now we can begin mega chopping it out. Mega chop, mega chop, mega, mega, mega chop. We've already got this halfway completed. A couple more chops will do her. Actually, we can get it in 4 turns without a chop. I cannot wait to see the yields in here, man. I'm gonna fill it with farms. You know what? Let's just chop it out. There it is. St. Basil's Cathedral. 100% religious tourism, +1 food, +1 production, and +1 culture on all tundra tiles in a city that has only tundra tiles. Boys and girls, I present to you pure, unmitigated game balance. Do you know what I love the most? I know the medieval era is coming to an end, but I'm running around here inside Georgia. I'm just tired of being at war with them. So I ran a horseman in to pillage all their stuff, and I'm getting faith out of it. It feels real good. They still won't peace me out. I don't know why. I don't know why they won't peace me out. I just want peace. Leave me alone. Faith purchase another campus, and then a library, and then next turn we'll get our university. We're up to 200 science per turn. Feeling pretty damn good. What I love about even settling new cities this deep into the game, a single forest shop still essentially finishes a lavra for me. Oh my god, finally she wants peace. Thank goodness. I've been sitting here at war pointlessly for the last like 50 turns. It's not that long, but it's been a while. Chop. Lavra in 4 turns. I love that half price districts always take just a few turns, and all you need to do is slap down 1 half price district and 1 choppy boy, and you got yourself an overpowered city as Russia. Oh, nice. We managed to get Isaac Newton +2 science in every university. That is absolutely a gimme. Last couple of settlers I'm buying here as the era ticks over. I might be able to squeeze out one more. Although, I think that is the last one, actually, if I think about it. But it doesn't matter. Look how massive my empire is. Just look how huge and thick and swole and impossible to invade I am right now. It sounds like I'm like... advertising something anyway. Advertising my Civilization 6 OnlyFans account. Look at this thick empire. Let's grab those engineer points. +1 era score every time we construct a new specialty district will be pretty nice. We're out of our golden age, which isn't great in of its own right, but we don't need a golden age anymore. Our empire is so horrendously overpowered that we're able to just keep chugging along no matter what now. I mean, just look at the science in comparison to the AI. I'm almost double the next player's science. And this is deity. One thing I really like about this mod is that it makes the city park a basic tile improvement. So you can build it in any city you want, which means there's just an extra amenity line around for you to snap up with a builder charge. That's if you have any water, because I think it only gives you yields or the amenity if you have some water to put it on. Since this is gonna be a space race project city, we are gonna need an encampment. So I'll slap down that encampment right there, harvest out the barracks, and then get to work on that armory. No, I didn't get the Kotoku in. Ah, damn it. I was hoping I would get that one. I think I got like 1 or 2 turned on it. And now we can spend all our faith purchasing those delicious amphitheater buildings. You know, I think these great works are actually very nice for increasing my culture per turn. Kind of helping me get to those important late game cards. Now, the tier 2 government buildings have been changed too. The intelligence agency is more or less the same, +1 spy and spy capacity. All spy operations have a higher chance of success and a governor title, but the Grandmaster's Chapel is a little bit different. You can use faith to purchase any building in holy sites, commercial hubs and harbours, and you get +1 governor title and +5 faith. The foreign ministry is also changed a little bit in that you get +5 gold empire-wide per city-state you are suzerain of, +5% gold empire-wide per city-state you are suzerain of. I said it again for emphasis, that is a huge amount of gold, and we may want to transition now into picking up some commercial hubs, although I'll have to think about that one. Of these 3, I feel like Grandmaster's Chapel could be really helpful, because with my religion I could basically faith buy any building that I need. On the other hand, Foreign Ministry works really well with the Kilwa, especially if I go ahead and get a couple of commercial hubs to boost my trade route capacity. Let's go for Foreign Ministry. That seems like the more fun one to go for. Let's grab industrialization for the +1 production to mines. I got my armory in here, so I can now purchase military engineers if I want. Let's pop an envoy into Nan Madol. That'll net us a cool bit of culture per turn. And then we'll pop another one into Fez as well to get that 30 or so science per turn from that. Boom, there's industrialization. Now our mines are super powerful. We're getting 5 production, 1 food, 1 fate from them. Of course coal would spawn right in the middle of my farms, ruining my lovely, beautiful triangle area. So, well, at least it didn't completely ruin it. Amphitheater, get ourselves another art museum. Pretty close to getting another artist. We are getting 46 great artist points per turn. Although my goal isn't to win by tourism, I just want lots of culture. Nice, now we have Oxford, and we're going to want to time the finishing of Oxford with some pretty late game techs. So I gotta find a city with relatively good production that could get to work on the Oxford. I think Smolensk is as good a candidate as any, so I'm gonna chop this, even if I give up one of my one charge builders. And I do want to save my one charge builders for doing my mass space shops later. That way, if I have a bunch of builders on every forest tile, I can just chop the spaceport out in a single turn, or rather chop the project out in a single turn and then purchase the spaceport using Faith. Let's Faith purchase an encampment in Astrakhan as well, because we do want to be able to take advantage of that late game card for the space race, which gives you a 15% production boost towards space projects if the city has a military academy or a seaport. Boom, now we have the foreign ministry and we're getting 5% gold empire-wide for each city-state that we have, which means we're getting 25% more gold, and that includes trade deals to the AI. So now trading away stuff for gold per turn is actually really valuable for me, which is why I've been kind of yeeting my diplomatic favor at whatever AI will just buy it from me. This 36 gold per turn is actually worth way more thanks to that. Damn it, somebody stole the Oxford from me. It's not the end of the world, it just kind of slows my game down significantly. I will pick up the 1,000 free science, however, from Charles Darwin. Pop Charles Darwin, instantly get military science. And we should be able to pick up sanitation in a single turn, and we're slowly making our way towards chemistry. Oof, the great engineer block here is actually pretty painful. It should be fine. We're fine. Actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to beat the 200 turn timer. This mod kind of nerfs a few things, but it is definitely an interesting mod, and I like that it has nerfed a few strategies, because that can make the game more interesting for multiplayer and stuff. This mod definitely feels like one of the more well thought out and balanced mods that I've played. Now here's a really cool unit that I built, first of all because it gave me a couple of envoys, but second of all because it's just a cool concept for a unit. It's a support unit that can actually fight. It has a ranged attack. It does 20 extra combat strength against districts, so it attacks like a musketman into districts, but you can actually combine these units together to make them into cores. It's a very, very cool idea for a unit. It's a support unit with its own independent attack, specifically designed to attack cities. It's like a follow-up from the Siege Tower. I'd really like to see something like this be a mechanic that the AI could use and be implemented into the game. This is like taking the baseline game mechanics and then just like, you know, 5-head extending them into the next dimension. Let's start to get to work on the Research Institute. I'm kind of tempted to switch to tall science, but I may just go for the Research Institute. What this does is that it gives this city one extra citizen slot on its campus district, and all of its citizens yield +1 science. So rather than going from, normally when you build the research lab, you go from 2 citizens yielding 2 science each to 3 citizens yielding 3 science each. This will allow you to go to 4 citizens yielding 4 science each. So it goes, 4 science for library university if you're working the city, if you're working the specialist slots. With a research lab, it goes up to 9 science across 3 citizens. And with the research institute and the research lab, it goes up to 16 science, which is a massive amount, especially when you consider that I could also do the advanced tall science project, which would give this city a +50% science boost, but it would mean all my other research labs would yield -4 science. I'm not sure if that's the choice that I want to make. The cool thing is though, I can still faith purchase my great engineers, so I don't have to worry too much about them being blocked. I may as well go for Mimar Sinan as well. Got myself 2 great engineers here. Did anyone ever build Mausoleum actually is a question I should check. Nobody built Mausoleum. You know what? Let me faith purchase. Oh, I put the harbor in the wrong place. Oh no, if I had to put my harbor here, I could have built Mausoleum. Damn it. Well, I guess we'll just have to live at 1 charge builder, great engineers. Boom, +2 production, +2 culture from workshops, and we also now can potentially get an extra 2 food and housing and culture bombs from industrial zones. Boom, there's natural history, so we can now get zoos for tons of amenities and archaeologists for extra culture. Ooh, I can get Filippo Brunelleschi for only 2,500. I will grab him because we're about to enter into the next era anyway, and I'm kind of running out of things to spend my faith on, so I kind of got to find something to do with it. Very nice, we've got replaceable parts, which means we have access to the food market, but more importantly, we get +1 food adjacency on all of our farms. Now look at the farms in here. 8 food, 7 food, 6 food. These farms are now incredible, which is going to mean we can grow really, really tall in these cities. And we can finally get to work on the research lab. And I'm going to want to save up a lot of faith for that. I know I just spent some, but I've got 4 turns to save up, which should mean I can buy a research lab every other turn. Now, even though this is a 10 food production tile, or 10 food tile with a high production, I am going to put a coal mine on it. So I feel like if I was playing vanilla, I probably would have already been close to winning the game, because I would have been able to abuse the double adjacency on my districts, which I have been able to do in this game, because this mod disables that kind of thing. I still am doing really well by any measure, but I can't help but feel like the mod actually slowed me down. I thought I'd be able to easily pull off a plus 200, but I forgot that it just yeets that double adjacency. We got the Research Institute in Verones now. That means I am going to want to work this thing, because it takes me from 46.1 science all the way up to 55.6. That's a significant upgrade. I'll probably need even more farms and stuff in here to try to boost the population of this city even further. Nice, we have research labs. Now, I don't have extensive power for my empire yet, but I'm hoping that I could maybe faith buy some great engineers to take care of that soon. Man, research labs are expensive, but they are worth 11 science per turn in powered cities. So I'm going to prioritize them in cities that have power. Lovely, we have access to neighborhoods now, so if we have particular cities that we'd like to grow taller, we can do so. The world enters the industrial era, and we in fact enter a golden age. I feel like Heartbeat of Steam is the right thing to pick up here. Even though we don't have the highest adjacency on our campus districts, it will be a good chunk of science across our empire. Or not science, sorry, I mean production from the adjacency. Plus, the extra production towards wonders isn't too bad. Starting to extend power to a good few cities now. We got the Colossus as well for that +1 trade route capacity. Kind of surprised that nobody actually picked this up just yet. But hey, I'll take the extra food and production from it. Let's buy the Royal Treasury and Sugar Baby. It'll give us 1 housing and 3 great merchant points, but more importantly, it'll allow us to do the tall economy, which will give us 3 trade route capacities and +1 gold per citizen in this city. Since I don't have a huge amount of commercial hubs in my empire, this makes sense right here to go for the tall economy and Sugar Baby. Let's faith purchase an aerodrome in the capital for 2 reasons. First of all, a couple of city-states had that as a mission. And second of all, there is obviously a mission to build 2 airports. So we're going to want a second one of those soon. Boom, there's Bolshoi Theater. That gives me Mercenaries and Scorched Earth. I was hoping not to trigger Mercenaries because it was a really cheap civic, but Scorched Earth at least was a nice boost up towards mobilization. Let's go ahead and skip Alfred Nobel. It all depends on how fast I think the Cree will get them. I think they'll get them fast enough to justify it, because usually Einstein comes after, like, in this area, if I recall correctly. So the Cree will get them in about 11 turns, which isn't too bad. I don't think we're going to get sub 200 turns, purely just down to the fact that I'm using a weird mod that doesn't quite work the way that I thought it did. But it is still going to be like a ridiculous game we're having. And at the very least, I hope it illustrates just how much fun this mod is. Upgrade a Cossack for the era score. I'd like to buy another Cossack and a field cannon so that I could combine these units together and get the boost for mobilization. I might be able to do it in time. Let's use Philippo to finish off the mausoleum. That'll use 1 charge and then instantly give us back a charge when this finishes. Go ahead and purchase ourselves a musketman to combine together here. And I just need to claw up a little bit of gold to be able to upgrade this to a field cannon and then buy a field cannon to combine. Although I could also just go for a Cossack, which would be cheaper overall. So for every 14 Diplo favor, Poundmaker will give me 100 gold roughly. So if I want 500 Diplo favor, I'll need to give him about 70. So 84 Diplo favor for 600 gold. I'll take that deal. Boom, we got the mausoleum. Very nice. So we basically got that wonder for free, thanks to Philippo. And now it's time to get our spaceports. Purchase ourselves a Cossack, combine the Cossacks together. Boom, there's mobilization, so we'll finish that next turn. Oh, that's really, really annoying. I got double skipped for Albert Einstein. It's when 2 people... I feel like because I got the pass, I should have the opportunity to recruit that first, because I technically earned him first. Annoying, but it is what it is. Let's faith purchase ourselves a space supporty boy. And then we'll instantaneously be able to launch the base race thingy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chops. So it's 2 turns on the Earth satellite where all that chop saved. That's the first set of space chops we're going to be doing. I mean, it's 1280 AD, and I'm literally about to launch the Earth satellite. Earth satellite launched in 1290 AD. Now I can see the entire world, and there was actually a couple of little city-states hiding in the corners. That's pretty valuable. That's a nice full list. Let's get our first Muskemen to make a Muskemen army. We need 3 armies or armadas to boost combined arms. And the boost is actually super important to make sure that we can research these quicker. I'll also need an oil power plant somewhere. But that's why I'm researching electricity, because that'll give me the oil power plant. Build a nice oil well for plastic boost. Second solar farm to boost environmentalism. Thanks for the 1400 gold pound maker. I appreciate you. Faith purchase ourselves a nice space porty over here. Now this one there's not enough chops to do the moon landing straight up. So we are going to have to wait until Magnus gets established there. Das Vidanya, comrade. We have found communism. Plug in lightning warfare for fast cavalry production because I need 3 tanks for a tech boost. Otherwise I guess we'll schlep in Republican legacy for those 16 amenities. Make a pit stop for nuclear program so we can get science foundations. Combine a Cossack for the combined arms boost. And it's 1350 AD and we're getting very close to being able to launch a moon landing. Nuclear program is complete. Let's go ahead and slap in Science Foundation for that insane Great People Point gain. That's like 6 Great People Points per city. Right now I'm making 61 great scientists per turn. But enough about that. It is time to chop out the moon landing. And we have Magnus in place, so all of these chops are worth over 200 production each. Chop, 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 chop. 1 turning the moon landing, alright? Now that is skill. Pure, unadulterated skill. Now the nice thing about that is it will give us about 6,000 culture this turn, which means we can boost all our way to globalization to pick up International Space Agency. And basically the only thing we don't have boosted here is rapid deployment. Let's purchase our 3rd and final spaceport. Position Magnus in this city to do the Mars launch. Unfortunately, it is only 1380 AD and turn 200. I should have won this a lot faster, like I said, if I had those old cards. But you know what? I still think this is an excellent example of why this mod is so good and why Russia is so strong at science. In my defense, this was my first attempt at this. I had a couple of trial runs where I tried out the early game, but nothing where I made any sort of a serious attempt. Now look at those great scientist points. Oh my god, 250 plus per turn. Granted, I am doing a decent amount of these campus research grants to get more scientists. Alright, nice. We have the space race, so we can plug an integrated space cell. That'll give me a 15% boost to space projects. Let's start the Amundsen Scott Research Station over here in Astrakhan, and Filippo Brunelleschi will shave a good few turns off that. Pop down Mary Leakey for a casual 1000 science to finish nuclear fission, which will naturally lead its way towards nanotechnology. You know, I'm convinced that Civ Games is where Elon Musk got the idea to like form SpaceX, because he was like, I can go to space in Civ Games easily. Why can't we do it in the real world? Like, look, it's 1450 AD and I'm launching the Mars project. I kind of wish that we lived in the alternate universe where Elon Musk was like a professional Civ player. Georgia, why? Go away! I don't want to deal with this. Oh my god. We have globalization now, so we can plug in International Space Agency, which is a hell of a lot of science. Of course, that did completely tank my gold per turn. Not a problem, we'll just offer the Cree 200 Diplo favor for 68 gold per turn. And now we're just about breaking even. Just got the Royal Society, which gives me a 15% science boost in cities with a campus or government plaza, and makes Great People cost 30% less gold. Doesn't allow you to boost space race projects with builders either, which was something I was also going to rely on this game. Maybe I should have looked into how this mod changes the game before I tried to do a speed run. But I mean, I don't care. I've been having fun this whole game. I think the last thing we need to pick up now is synthetic technocracy for the extra power and 30% production towards city projects. Let's get chopping on the Mars colony now. 1 chop, 2 chop, 3 chop, 4 chop, 5 chop, 6 chop, 7 chop, 8 chop. Boom. Mars colony, 1 turn. The turn we researched it, we have launched it. We have basically propelled up through the science victory track in about 15 turns, all the way up to here. Now we just got to launch smart materials and then get that exoplanet expedition going faster. I still don't understand why Georgia declared war on me. Like, that is just baffling to me. The world enters the modern era, and now I can go ahead and pick up another Golden Age dedication. I'll go for Heartbeat of Steam again. It doesn't do much, but it helps. Helps a lot more than those other ones do anyway. You know, just a casual 1200 science on 1525 AD. You know, casual. Just, we're taking it slow, you know, with our old science gain. One of my favorite things to do when you're like super ahead of a player is to just run around and pillage the absolute ever-living hell out of their empire. Oh, we found smart materials. 3 turns until we can launch the exoplanet. Oh, now you want peace, Georgia. I'm gonna pillage everything you own. This right here, this is vengeance. Oh, that felt good. I don't think you get much better feeling than that. Like just to run in and completely annihilate someone's district in a single turn. Boom, smart materials. Now we're gonna launch this in Irtusk. Although, are we? Irtusk still has like 3 chops. How valuable are those chops? They're each worth 180 production. Sorry, hold on, let me swap that tile. They're each worth 270 production. So you know what? I think that's worth it to launch it here, even if the city is technically worse. Because we can do an old choppy boy right there. An old choppy boy right there. And we're already 1/4 finished with this bad boy. Oh, there's off-world mission. This is literally the perfect run. It has no prerequisite text aside from smart material. This is the god roll on the end of the tech tree. This happens so rarely. I would say in about 80% of my science games, this tech requires all 4 of these prerequisite techs to get boosted. The fact that I'm able to 2-turn this, that is good. Now, I really want Carl Sagan. I am quite a ways away from getting him, though. At least 10 turns. Oh, look at this. I can even speed this up. Pillage, pillage, pillage. Welcome to the Pelagio. Pillage for health. Unironically, pillaging is the most fun thing in the game. Because A, you're completely ruining someone else's game, and B, you get the really satisfying pillage noise and then a nice pop-up of money. It's like getting a last hit in League of Legends, you know? It's just like, bam, you get your little gold pop-up and then there's just like a part of you that just feels warm and snug. Chopperino, we're making good progress. Yes, the off-world mission is ready, baby. And we also got optimized imperative. So this is currently taking me 26 turns. I switch on over to synthetic technocracy, plug in communist legacy, plug in Republican legacy, plug in liberalism. Boom. Now it's only taking 18 turns. And if I research future tech, I'll get a 5% boost for every city project. I do want to be suzerain of Singapore as well though, because if I'm suzerain of 2 industrial city-states, that should bring the production time on this down. Or was I already suzerain of 2? I don't think I was. Oh, maybe it doesn't apply to project. Ah well. Man, they are really trying their hardest to kill this poor little helicopter that's running around his territory. It's almost leveled up to level 4 from just taking hits. Pillage the village. Yoinkerino. 1 chop, 2 chop, I mean, granted, it's actually a lot more than 2 chops, but still, we are very close to launching the exoplanet. Nice holy sight, bro. It would be a shame if something happened to them. Should this chop do it? Oh, yes. So we are now officially on the countdown to win, and it's turn 223. Not quite. All right, I'll throw my hands up. Not quite the sub 200 turn win, but I think it would be possible if I had been playing vanilla. But the best thing about this now is I get to go through all of these cities and start launching laser projects every couple turns. 4 turns on 2 Lagrange stations and 9 turns on a terrestrial laser station. Granted, that's not as good. I'll admit, this is my worst space chop city, but it still formed an important part of my empire. Ooh, we could buy Carl Sagan. Yoink. Also, I don't know if I showed you, but I got the Amundsen Scott Research Station, and my science is popping off ridiculously at the moment. And basically every city that I own has an absurd amount of production right now. Cree-man, give me your aluminum. Fighter of the night, man. Oh, the double purchase. Great engineer turn. Both Shah Jahan and Nikola Tesla. I don't even know what wonder I'm going to use this guy on. Hang on. You know what? Eiffel Tower it is. I've got Saggy Carl positioned over in Moscow so I can launch another space race project immediately after I finish the one I'm working on. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Shah Jahan, can he actually finish wonders? Oh, that's crazy. And it only cost me like 2,500 gold. That feels pretty OP. Now my empire's appeal isn't complete dog doo-doo. Lagrange laser station and a Lagrange laser station. Now we're traveling 3 light years per turn, baby. And better yet, I can immediately launch another Lagrange laser station thanks to Carl Sagan, and then get to work on another one. I need to get over to a farm. Pillage, 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 pillage. I wonder what happens if I pillage your dam. Nothing interesting, but I can pillage your things. Pillage, pillage. It's a pillage-a-palooza, baby. Listen, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, alright? I've been playing this game. I've been trying to get this thing recorded for nearly 2 weeks, it feels like, alright? The first recording session went incredibly, and then someone was like, let's renovate all the things in the house. And then it didn't go so great for a while. Let me tell you, it was some dark times. She wants peace. I'm not done pillaging her. I mean, my helicopter is like basically invincible, so I can just like run around pillaging all I want. Lagrange laser station. Very nice. Pillage, pillage, pillage. Pillage, pillage. Now we're going 6 light years per turn. Shouldn't we be going more? I feel like we should be going more. That doesn't seem like enough light years. Pillage, pillage, pillage. 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 Oh my god, I just got like 1,000 fate there. Ah, they're attacking me with a quadrireme. I took 2 damage. Ah! Never mind. Pillage, pillage. Pillage, pillage. I need health. Did you repair any of these farms? Ooh, entertainment complex. Pillage, pillage. I wonder how fast we're going. We are going 7 light years. I feel like it should be more. Am I dumb? Anyway, back to pillaging. Bum, bum, bum. I feel like I've already pillaged these things, but I'm coming back around again. How long have we got? 7 light years, 17 light years to traverse. Oh, we got this in the bag, baby. Another laser station launched. Alright, 2 turns until we win. Feels good, man. Feels real good. Pillage, pillage. Pillage, pillage. Look how badly I've crippled Georgia's science by running around and pillaging her. God, that's hilarious. Pillaging is genuinely... I used to think pillaging was like really underpowered. Now I feel like it's been overbuffed because pillaging is insane. Is this the turn that I win? I can't remember. I think it is. I think this is the end turn where I win. Sure, we can have peace, just as I win the game. I don't care about your earthly wars anymore. I'm going to space. There's no war in space. Yet. Alright, so I set fort on a goal to win in under 200 turns, and I didn't quite achieve that, but I was hamstrung by the mod. But I also had a lot more fun because of the mod, because you can do some pretty interesting things. I feel like the mod fixes some cool stuff, and I feel like the developers should maybe take a little gander and say, hey, you know what? There's some cool ideas here. I was going to show you the Total Religions Founded graph, tell you I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!